Join me as I take on the challenge of sorting through my overwhelming thoughts and finding some clarity. Being overwhelmed by your thoughts is a very common experience for many people. It's like having a never-ending storm of ideas, worries, and concerns swirling around in your mind, making it hard to focus, relax, or even think straight. When you've got too many thoughts swirling around in your head, it can be incredibly challenging to cope. You might feel anxious, stressed, and like you're constantly on edge. It's hard to concentrate, make decisions, or even just enjoy the simple things in life. And the worst part is, it can be really tough to quiet that voice in your head that's constantly telling you that you're not good enough, that you're failing, or that you're just not doing enough. This mental clutter can also make it difficult to sleep, as your mind is still racing even when you're trying to wind down. You might find yourself lying awake at night, rehashing conversations, replaying arguments, or worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow. And even when you do manage to drift off, you might wake up feeling groggy, uninspired, and unmotivated. And then there's the impact on your relationships. When you're stuck in a cycle of overwhelming thoughts, it can be hard to be present with the people you care about. You might find yourself zoning out in conversations, forgetting important details, or just feeling like you're not really connecting with others. It's like there's this constant barrier between you and the world around you. So why do we feel so overwhelmed by our thoughts? One major reason is the external pressures we face every day. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us we need to be better, faster, stronger, and more productive. We're expected to be constantly connected, constantly switched on, and constantly achieving. And if we're not meeting these expectations, we can feel like we're failing, like we're not good enough. Another reason is our internal fears and doubts. We might be carrying around deep-seated fears of rejection, failure, or not being loved. These fears can be incredibly powerful, and they can drive our thoughts and behaviors in ways that aren't always helpful. We might find ourselves constantly seeking validation, constantly trying to prove ourselves, or constantly trying to avoid failure. And then there's the digital age we live in. With social media, email, text messages, and the constant stream of information coming our way, it's no wonder our minds are cluttered. We're constantly being told what we need to do, what we need to buy, and what we need to achieve. And if we're not careful, we can get sucked into this vortex of comparison, competition, and consumption. So, how do we start to manage our thoughts more effectively? One powerful technique is mindfulness. When we practice mindfulness, we're not trying to change our thoughts or get rid of them. We're just learning to observe them without judgment. We're learning to be present in the moment, without getting caught up in the drama of our minds. And that can be incredibly liberating. Another technique is journaling. When we write down our thoughts and feelings, we can start to process them, make sense of them, and let them go. We can start to identify patterns, recognize cycles, and break free from negative thinking. And we can start to cultivate a more compassionate, kind, and gentle relationship with ourselves. By using techniques like mindfulness and journaling, we can start to quiet the noise in our minds, clarify our thoughts, and find a sense of peace and calm. We can start to live more intentionally, make more conscious choices, and connect more deeply with the world around us. In summary, feeling overwhelmed by your thoughts is a common experience, but it's not something you have to live with. By recognizing the challenges that come with too many thoughts, exploring the reasons why we might feel overwhelmed, and using techniques like mindfulness and journaling, we can start to take back control of our minds and live more fulfilling, meaningful lives. Thanks for watching, and if you've struggled with overwhelming thoughts, I'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. And if you're looking for more mindfulness techniques to improve your mental health, be sure to check out my next video.